Hello.
Clare, how are you?
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good,
And I
good,
have got
good.
a very lovely word for you. Are you
Do
ready?
tell.
The word is magic.
Mm, I love that word. It brings a smile up from way down deep inside. To me, magic is what's present all the time when I remember it is.
Mm.
The only time that the moments that we have in our everyday life do not have some kind of, I'm going to say, spark or sparkle. Because sometimes it's just like oh, interesting or intriguing or wonder, and then other times it's just downright delightful and magical. And then it's sparklier. How I see that, because I use that word and it's like, oh, you know, people might get confused and think about magic and dark magic and white magic and all that kind of ugh, whatever. And it's just like, no, I think everyone understands a feeling of something being magical. What comes to mind, just when I said the word in that moment, I saw a winter scene with lights lit up. We have some near where I am, well, outdoor Christmas time, going for walks at night when all the Christmas lights are out and watching it reflect and glisten on the snow. And there's something magical about it. There's something magical about anything that sort of lights something up in a way that may seem not every day. But how I see it now is that it's not Christmas lights. It's not lights at all. Or at least it's not a light that's coming from outside. It's a light from inside, like a presence, an attention. Um, it's attention is kind of a good word because it's like how you come to something can really light it up, even if it's in the dark, even
Yeah.
if it's a dim back alley. So this is really lovely. Yeah, I see that the magic that we created ourselves, because we can both be looking at a magnificently lit up Christmas tree, and one of us could feel the magic of the moment, and one of like looking and, being present to that. And one can have a lot on their mind, an argument or something that just happened. And they're like, yeah, lights, Christmas, whatever. I got this stuff going on. So I really see it. Interestingly, this feels different this week. And really seeing that the presence I was on a call and we were talking about listening. And maybe that's why there's been more sparkle again this week. Cause it's like, I've been reminded of how I can listen and how that brings something magical to it's just me, I'm the only one experiencing what I'm experiencing, but to the whole engagement, whether it's with a dog that I met new, his name is Whiskey, on my walk this morning or run this morning, or whether it's my husband who I hear every day. Yeah, I'm just really seeing that this magic it's present, it's ready to, I was going to say show itself, but it's not anything outside of us.
Hmm.
Yeah. What? Be aware what magic is for you in this moment.
Well, just, I mean, what's coming to mind right now is just the way you've responded to that word is beautiful, because just before this, I was on a little group call. It's that we have a reconnect session from the Viva conference that I've been to in Spain the last couple of years, and every month or so we have it's called a Viva Reconnect, and there weren't many of us on the call. And I said, I've got to go now. I need to nip to Lou, and then I'm making my podcast with Michaela. And I explained how it works. And I said, oh, no, it's my word. And I haven't thought of a word. And Sheila, who is one of the people who organises Viva, said magic. And so what's magic about that is the way, that word just, she said, oh, I don't know where that came from. I'm going with it. I'm going to go with that word. And then the way you've lit up, I can see your magic within you as you're talking about it. It's just that's so cool, isn't it? The little, I'd like to say this fly's magic, but it's not. Just landed on my head. How rude! I'm busy here. It's quite a large one.
It came right at me. I saw it. Yeah.
It's like everything is magic, really, isn't it? But our thinking says it isn't. It's all that stuff that Byron Katie says about, resistance to what is. Maybe everything that's happening in our lives is magic, really. And I loved when you used the word presence, because presence, I think, allows us to see it, to see the magic, to connect to it. We spend so much time in our heads chatting to ourselves about things, and with, not the most helpful of thoughts, often about the past or the future. But when that falls away, then there only is magic. That's what's left when all that thinking falls away. It's like the diamond metaphor, which I really like, the diamond inside, seeing that we are magical beings, really. And that can therefore be in anything. Like I've noticed since I've been on this journey that everything, or many more things, seem to be magical. Many things still annoy the heck out of me. Don't see like that fly right now. For those who are just listening, there is an annoying fly buzzing around my office. Looked like it was dive bombing Michaela. But yeah, that I just notice really little things that I find I can sit and look at for longer than I would have been like, oh yeah, that's all right, but I'm off now doing my busy stuff. And we went to a garden a few weeks ago where there just was so many wildflowers and so many butterflies and bees. It was just like, it was like shimmering. It's like shaking with the amount of stuff there was buzzing around it. And we've had some of these, they're called bee bombs. They're just like little balls with seeds in that they're just wildflower. Put them in your garden and you just see what comes up. We've had these beautiful purple flowers, and they're just covered in bees and littler things that they are just magic. There's so much of that about. Which, when we are caught up in our minds, we miss it, don't we? When we're doing thinking. I've been making a lot of content about overthinking this week and last week, and yeah, that can really take us away from peace, can't it? Just thinking and thinking and thinking.
Indeed.
And I guess when things are difficult, that's when it's hardest to see, I think. When I burnt out, if you'd have told me this is actually magic, I'd probably wrung your neck. I mean, punch on the nose, like, what are you talking? If I'd had the energy for that. What are you talking about? It's magic, you fool. What the heck? Now I can really see that I was going through some kind of, I've been through some magical transformation, really, that's been sparked by becoming so exhausted that I couldn't work anymore. there's even magic in those things, isn't there? That we often can't see till afterwards. And that's human too. Like, we're not saying, let's spiritually bypass all your horrible experiences and pretend they're all magic. We're not saying that. But I think what is important to see is that our suffering is, is coming from resistance to what is. And when we're not in that resistance, things do seem more magical. That perspective can just shift, can't it? Like, really quite profoundly when the resistance drops away.
Mm. And it can, in just like that. You couldn't hear my snap. I couldn't get my snap going, but it's amazing, yeah, how it can happen so quickly. And it does, because I'm betting even in the time period when you were experiencing burnout, that there was moments where you weren't present to being burnt out, where you were being present to whatever of the myriad of things that happen throughout our everyday, day-to-day life. But we don't catch them. We don't necessarily see them because we're so distracted. And when we become present to ourselves again, after being distracted, when we weren't feeling the ickiness that we were feeling, we just remember that. What? Right? So it seems that whenever we're present to ourselves, this is how I'm feeling and it's not good, or I've got all this trouble in my life, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, or whatever it is that I'm experiencing. Yet when you were present to something else and you forgot about the things that were not to your liking going on in your life, you're okay. That is magic. That is magical. When you really start to catch more and more of those, of how that's true. And the only way is to see it, to just notice it, to test it out, and however, just even listening to this conversation, at least for today, someone like me, for sure, because we're talking about it, I'm going to be more present to the magic. I'm going to see it as magic. But before this call, I wasn't calling it magic. But now when I see the delights that are happening in my day, my cat that I just found curled up in my bed, she has different spots that she'll go to. And she hasn't been up here for a while. She slept curled behind, well, first in between my legs and then behind my knees. And I was surprised to see her on my bed. It's like, oh, I haven't seen you up here for a few weeks, like curling up here. And there was I was happy to have her there. You can see when you look at that, it lit me up. I don't know why. I don't especially like her on my bed because, she drops hair there. But there was something about it. It's like, oh, that lit me up. There was a feeling of, oh, surprise. And then, hi, BJ. We have these little moments. I never thought any more about it until just this moment, that it's like, I was lit up. There was something sparkling from inside. Magic is every day.
It is. In those little synchronicities and just the little things that happen, that if we're busy and going very fast, we can so easily miss it, can't we? And I would have said that's probably what I was doing. I think at one point I did a gratitude journal every day, and excuse me, and I would sit there at the end of the day, trying to, get myself to remember things to be grateful for. like, you know, bits of magic, I suppose you might call. I wouldn't have called them that then, but I would now more. And now it's there all the time. You don't even have to look very far for it. But things just, you know, things that just work out time wise. Little things like we went for a walk today and I found a pound coin on the floor. You know, I'm like, oh, look, a magical little pound coin. Yeah. You know, it's little things like that that are just, yeah, little gifts from the universe of magic. You know, I know when I've done, I think you've done the same. You've done Living Miraculously, haven't you, with Dominic and Grace?
Yeah.
That they, you know, he invites you to start just writing some of those things down where those little magical things have happened. But I think if I when I do that now, sometimes jot them down. I find I don't feel the need so much to jot them down as just to be present to them and enjoy them in the moment.
And it brings more. Like being with that in the moment, it bring, you know, the idea being like, yeah, when your eyes are open to magic, you're going to see more magic. You're going to see more delight. When your eyes are open to the things that are not right in the world or in your life, then you're going to see more to that, because that's what your eyes are open to. That's what your energy, your being is open to. And it's, you know, it's not that you have to then, okay, eyes open for all that's good, all that's good, all that's good. You know, you don't have to be like a vigilant. Although at times I kind of needed to, because I knew that I was focusing on things that were not right. And I had to help myself remember, because I kept forgetting, and it was like a rut, you know? So, but you'll know what makes sense to you. You'll know if you need to like write yourself a sticky note to remind yourself. That's what I did. And then after a number of days, I didn't see the sticky note anymore. It's like, you know, I either I didn't need it or I forgot or what, you know, whatever. But you'll know moment to moment. If there's something to do, you'll be guided to it. You don't have to then put a bunch of rules and regulate schedule and write out the to-do list of every morning. I just thought about this because I have some stiffness going on, and I admitted to my ART guy that, yeah, I kind of stopped doing the things that I was doing that was helpful in keeping me loose and limber. And that's what happens. That's human. It happens all the time. You know, we will remember these things when things are like not going. It's like, oh yeah, there's magic everywhere. And then you'll go down that track, right? You'll create momentum in a different direction. And just as easily, we can create momentum in a direction of seeing the very unmagical things. That's just part of being human. There's nothing wrong. It's just something really helpful to notice what kind of incredibly powerful, creative beings we are, that we can have a magical experience in the middle of what seems to be utter freaking chaos in your life. That's amazing, truly. It's magical.
And I think there's a felt sense to it as well, you know. If we're spending our day focusing on what's, like you said, what's not going well, what you know, being in that place of resistance, we're going to feel that. We're probably going to be exhausted. We're probably going to feel off. You know, our emotions are going to be all over the place. Excuse me.
That was a magical yawn.
Big magical yawn, and then yeah, I've lost my complete train of thought now. What was I talking about? Yeah, when we're focusing, you know, that has a felt sense to it. If we're focusing on all the things that are not going well, we're going to feel that in our bodies, because those resistive thoughts are uncomfortable. But, you know, the more we kind of focus on the joy of the moment, the magic of the moment, we just feel better. And then it becomes like that game of, I don't know, of hotter, colder. You know, we want to move more towards those good feelings and not so much get bogged down in the not very good ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Really
Sheila.
good. Yeah.
I
Thank
should
you.
send this episode to her when it comes out. Thank you, Sheila. This is a conversation off the back.
Very good.
Your magical word. The magical magic. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Lovely. Yeah.
That was indeed.
See you next time.
Have a great one.
You too. Bye. Bye.